Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a very easy daisy. I'm going to begin by sticking my, get this here, I'm sorry, sticking my brush into the Wicker White, and this is a flat brush, and I'll list all my products that I'm using down below the video. I just tapped it into a little bit of this Dove Gray over here. And before I start, I'm going to do just a little center. Just gives me an idea of where I need to go. I'll start at the top, and I'm going to do the chisel edge, pushing down and pulling back up. Chisel edge, pull towards the center, bring it back up. Just load your brush as much as you need to as you're painting as you go. Pull towards. Do the same thing. When you're painting this, if you want to make all the petals the same length, that's up to you, but I choose not to. So I'm going to just kind of vary them and stagger them a little bit. But right now I'm just going in between the initial ones. If you want to leave it like this and it's a very sparse daisy, go ahead and do that. Up to you. But I like to go in between and just keep filling it in. I like mine to have a little bit more substance to them. Or if you're painting an actual design, you could maybe have some of them not be as full. And maybe have some like they're starting to die and they don't have as many petals. If you need to go over them again, feel free to do so if you want to make them longer, or I guess you can't make them any shorter, but if you want to make them longer, you can do so. Like say here, I want to make that one kind of stand out a little bit. Or also if you're painting on glass, because any of my designs could be painted on glass, I've just kind of switched over to different surface, which is the paper, because it's easier. I think it cuts down on the glare, at least I hope it does. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is tap in the center, and I'm looking at this, I think I want to make a few of these go more towards the center, because I don't want a really big center. So I'm going to extend this a little bit into the center so it's not quite as big. And that's why I say when you're painting, take a look at it. If you don't like something, then go back over it. Or if you're working on glass, make it, wash it off and paint it again. Okay, now I'm using a very small deerfoot stippler, and they're kind of angled, that's why I like it. But I'm going to put the darker color on the back side, the lighter color on the front side, and you can do some blending strokes if you want, just to kind of blend it in. But I'm going to go around the center. If I need to go back over it because I have that dot in the center and this is not that opaque, then guess what? I'm just going to go back over it again. And combining the two different colors kind of gives it a little bit of a highlight. If you want to come back this way and do maybe a little bit darker color, like a brown, feel free to do so. But this kind of a brush gives it a little bit of texture also when you're pouncing it in. Alright, and then the last thing I'm going to do is just do some petals around it. I'm sticking one edge of the number 10 flat brush into the Thicket. I'm going to do a little bit into this yellow ochre and then come over here into the white. And I'm going to do some blending strokes because I did like a little sample and I liked how this looked because it kind of tames down. The white isn't so bright and the yellow isn't so dark. Then I'm just going to come over here and put my brush, and I'm pushing it down and just wiggling it. Think about you're mopping the floor. And anytime you need to turn your paper, turn your paper. If you have to go over some of the leaves or some of the petals that you just painted, that's fine. Not a big deal. And I'll just do some. I just want to make sure I'm on the paper here. Now you can go like this and put a V if you want to have a V shape at the top. I'm just wiggling it and pulling it. Wiggling and pulling it. And kind of raise it up like that. And then I'll turn my paper. I want to make sure I'm on camera here, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm not doing so many painting videos anymore that with my new camera I really haven't had that much practice. Now when you're painting leaves, you could also do like where you're doing like the darker side on one side of the petal or the leaf, whatever you want to call it. And you could flip your brush around. Let me make sure I have it good and loaded. And do a lighter color, like if you want to see where maybe the sun is coming from. I don't do that very good, but you get the gist, I'm sure. And I didn't turn my paper, so it makes a difference too. And then just come into the center like that. You don't have to stick with both sides being the same color, I guess is my point. And then I'm just going to come through, put out some little leaves. I like leaves. If you followed me for very long, you know that. One of my favorite things to paint. And you can just do some little pulls with your chisel edge. Just kind of pull them out like that if you want. And if you want to come back over here and add some more, you can do that too. You can come out this way. And you could put a stem if you want. I'm just doing the basics around this flower. And look at the paper, that didn't come out very well. So I'm just going to come through here. Oops, sorry. The amount of pressure you place on your brush is what's going to determine how your petals, your leaves, whatever you're painting turn out. And if you want, you can add some dots around the center. I'm not going to do that right now. I think this is good enough. And I hope you like this. Alright, I appreciate you stopping by, and that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you the next time. You take care and you have a good one.